I think this pandemic is very different to other disasters. The impact it's had in terms of people's lives, people losing their lives, the impact it has had economically, and the scale of the impact it's had in terms of the changes that people have had to make on their daily routines. So I think it is unlike anything we've ever seen before. I think our members, public service media, have risen to this challenge. I think we have seen the public turn in huge numbers, unprecedented numbers, to our news broadcasts from public service media across Europe. We have also seen public service media offer educational programming for children. We've seen them offering entertainment programming. We've seen them broadcast all of the government press conferences, the health press conferences. We've seen them offer those press conferences free of charge to commercial media. So I think across the range of what public service media have done, we have completely risen to this terrible, awful, unprecedented challenge. And I think the public realise that, which is why they're turning to trusted news. Safety of journalists is critical during any crisis, and particularly a health one like this. I think what is really important is training, and that training happens before the crisis, that it is ongoing, that it is systematic, because it's too late once a crisis happens to suddenly start training all of your staff. So I think initiatives like the UNDRR training initiative around journalists is absolutely critical. And I think after that, it's having proper guidelines, having proper equipment, safety precautions. But we know that we can't eliminate risk for journalists. That's just a fact. But we can minimize it, and we can give them the proper tools and training to help them minimize the risks in a situation like this. I think what we have seen around the world is during this crisis is that some governments have used misinformation, disinformation, despicable misinformation and disinformation at a very difficult time for the world, but they've used this as an excuse to do a power grab and to introduce legislation which restricts the press in some countries. And I think we have to be very, very careful and monitor that and speak out against it where it is happening. That this terrible, awful human tragedy, this human crisis, is then not used in a way, abused, I would say, in a way by some governments to give them greater leverage and control on the press. We have seen the importance during this crisis of a free and independent press. We've seen it everywhere in the world. Never has it been more important. And I think we need to preserve that. It's precious, and we need to call out those who would undermine that freedom and would use a crisis like this to do that.